MTV was not paying all my bills.
Right.
Um, and so when I really like took a step back and looked at where I wanted to go in my career, I was like, I just don't want to be an internet personality for the rest of my life. And
Hmm.
I don't want to be the girl who just talks about race. And I was
Right.
like, I'm glad that this has given me a platform and opened all these doors for me. But I would meet people and they were surprised that I was funny. And I
Mhm.
would say, well, I'm a comedian. They're like, no, you're not. I see you on Decoded. And I'm like,
Right.
well, Decoded is like an educational show. I'm not
But the
current,
thing is, people say to me, I'm afraid about, like, they're not even in the business yet. I'm afraid about being put into a box. I'm afraid
right.
of like doing this one thing and getting stuck in the box. And my attitude is get in the box first,
Yeah,
because you need to
yeah,
get work. So
yeah. Get
get
in
in
the
the
box first.
box
Yeah,
and then you worry about getting out of the box.
yeah.
Right.
And I would, yes, I agree. Like, and if for me, I didn't know I was getting into a box. I was following what was being successful for me and what I was enjoying and what I was good at. And I did that for 6 years. I was on the nightly show, and even that, like, I started for a minute, I was like, oh, I think I want to be a late night host. And then I was realizing, like, oh, this is really hard. Like,
Mm-hmm.
talking about the news and
Yeah.
writing about what's happening in the world and trying to put in a funny spin is just it's hard. It's so
Yeah.
hard. And again, I learned so much, but I think what I really learned was I was like, if I have a TV show one
You
night a
know,
week, I don't want
you
to do
doing,
5 nights a week.
but even on your channel, which I poked around, I was like, oh my God, like you interviewed Michelle Obama. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Like, what? How did that come about?
Yeah, I mean, that was through YouTube. So because I was so active and I had won that Emmys contest and I won that Next Up contest, like I had a relationship with YouTube. Like I would speak at events there.
Hmm.
One time they had this party where they had an airplane circling LA with like celebrities, and I hosted the plane. Like I was speaking over like the speaker in the plane. It was so weird. It was very fun, but like that was because of YouTube. And so they would regularly reach out to me and say, like, oh, we're doing this event. Would you host it? Or would you speak on this panel or
So
whatever?
leaving it must have been very hard for you because on the one hand they were good to you, and the other hand,
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't getting paid for a lot of those things. Like
oh really? It was
no,
just
no.
exposure.
Yeah, it was just it was exposure, and that was also part of it. Like that was me making a conscientious decision that I wasn't going to do unpaid work anymore. That
Uh-huh.
I started saying like, okay, cool, like you guys are happy to have to fly me out and have me speak on a panel, but I then have to run back to my hotel room and like write these articles because I don't have money.